Into the Nico support, which obviously is a pretty big lane bully. Varus Nico is a really tough 2v2 to be playing against. Yes, the Ezreal can try to sit back and just kind of
pretty big defensive layer not available if they decide to full send this dive. And it looks like that's going to be the plan. Inspired leading the charge here at the start. Montu lands the rain of arrows. 30 first blooded immediately, and Busio barely gets away. Calculated by FlyQuest, and they aren't done yet. Shaden still got to try to escape. The Sejuani double killed now as Masu's just getting all sorts of money. One more hit's going to be required. Isles falls, and just like that, FlyQuest have a 3-0.
As you say, just that one play, but that one play has completely exploded the game for Dig.
It was a huge play, right? Like, it completely just took over everything. And now, yeah, like you say, all three grubs, mobility and survivability in these quick, short, bursty trades, doing a lot.
Oh, Shaden looking.
Yeah, Shaden has found his way into the mid lane finally. Dignitas are on the board as Shaden...
Dragon, no problem. They are looking really, really good with how they're moving the game forward. Surdy has to go back to base again, and it feels like he just TP'd back after getting harassed down. He knows there is a potential of a dive because they're taking Dragon, so they're just going to force this.
Nobody has managed to successfully alleviate that pressure on Surdy yet, and that means Whippo is honestly one more push away from taking the turret. Here he is. The last auto attack will seal the deal, and now Surdy surely knows he doesn't win the fight anymore. Too low on mana, fighting the top side. His squad dies. Approaching to potentially contest this one. Let's see if FlyQuest allow them to do so. Inspired's already got the Herald most of the way down as Masu and Busio just run interference. Nobody from Dignitas can even get there in time to try to stop the take of the objective. Whippo's here on the flank as Shaden now trying the front line here for the Dignitas side. Inspired immediately dropping the Crescent Guard, keeping himself alive as Whippo has to retreat. Surdy's joined the fight. Is on that Trinity Force power spike. And even though Surdy is close enough, is caught up enough to have his own first fully completed item, it's still pretty scary to continue to deal with these Trinity Force procs. It's still obnoxious in the 1v1. I feel like Whippo will probably still be able to continue starting up the second Drake of the game. Isles jumps in, going after Masu. Busio's Pop Blossom finds nothing. Beautiful counterattack from Shaden to lock him into the Glacial Prison. Isles barely gets away with 50 HP, but the Drake has already been slain by Inspired, and now Dignitas has to be careful. Whippo's still looking to find a little bit more as Inspired chases after Shaden, and Whippo flashes over the wall to find the kill. Now the second one comes through for the Tiles jumps out of the way, but the spear is in the air, and that auto attack's going to bump her through.
The spell is just to give you the sheep proc.
Yeah,
exactly.
That's all it's for. It makes your hand glow red. Still the lone point of strength for Dignitas with a 700 gold lead here, but you can see Surdy has not found the point where he can deal with Whippo at all. Just running down the J, so much damage with Masu to help out. Whippo goes on a killing spree, and Surdy has no home here on Summoner's Rift. Whippo has kicked him out of the top lane, kicked him out of the jungle, and continues his reign of terror in the side lane.
Oh, it's just so miserable.
It's the worst.
When this literally works, it's awful.
Nice engage coming out there from Shaden to try to catch Quad, but it's not enough. The follow-up damage can only take him to half HP, and Isles dies trying to get in.
And look at top. You're going to lose that top lane tier 2 as well. That's going to be solo gold for Whippo. Pretty much guaranteed. They can't get up there, so he's going to get even more rich.
I've been doing...
Are you sure it's not because you hate top laners and want to see them suffer?
I have to eat my words maybe on the diddly top for this game only. But I do think, again, like, this is exactly what
camp there to fuel back up a little bit, siphon some HP. Dignitas are starting up the Dragon, and FlyQuest don't want to allow them to stop that soul stack. Whippo making his way forward towards the Dignitas lines, Chains of Corruption, finding massive Pop Blossom from Busio. He's on a rampage, and Dignitas is on a one-way road to the cemetery. A beautiful engage from the FlyQuest support. It costs his life, but it does not matter. It's a 5-for-1. Triple kill for Masu, double kill for Busio. Massive team fight for Fly.
It is crazy because when you see a fight like that, you're like, that's going to be Baron 2. Baron has not even spawned. They're just going to go for the base here. They take the tier 2 mid. They take the tier 2 bot. They're going for the inhibitor towers as well. FlyQuest are stomping Dig in game 1.
And what a stunning
Dignitas had to stop them. They technically stopped the Drake stack. Now Masu trying to get away as Shaden goes for the engage. Masu using both summoner spells there. Looked like the cleanse might have been slightly early. Still moving around a little bit as now Isles too far forward might just get punished. Quad goes in for the shuffle back onto Shaden as well. Isles is the only one to drop right now, but Whippo is not happy with that. Going to continue keeping the pressure on, going after Shaden. Jumps forward yet again. He has no mana, but he does not need it. The right click dominates the top lane in game number
3
1.
boots for the shielding as well. Plus, he's got double buffs right now, so he's not going to have any problems at all. Just keep these fights going and going and going. And he's basically just trying to force them to use resources on him. He's just going to keep scrapping you, jump over the wall, force you to waste cooldowns.
Yeah, and you can see the follow-up from Kaney's laser and Surdy's shock blast and the true shot barrage from Tomo all hit him. He's still not afraid of anything. He's still got 25% HP left, and that's enough. And again, the chains of corruption from Masu just immediately deny Isles any opportunity for entry into the fight as Tomo goes after the FlyQuest AD carry and he finds the kill, but it'll be AD for AD. The Varus and the Ezreal both fall, but FlyQuest have secured the Baron.
Yeah, playing with fire a little bit.
Here's number 3.
Yeah, it's pretty tough to deal with these guys with these super deep champion pools for all these situations. Jace is historically such a difficult character to deal with in
Really
lane
safe blind
matchups.
pick.
Yeah, he's great for those types of situations, but if you can prove, hey, this is no longer a safe blind pick versus our team, that's a massive advantage in drafts.
Absolutely, and it's one of those things where sometimes, you know, it's frustrating when people talk about a solo queue picks on work.
Inspired has already gone in for a big engage here with a crescent sweep as Isles has to try to escape, and Shaden's now the target here on the front line. The Sejuani's about to die, but both the Rakan and Sejuani survive as the shutdown on Inspired comes through for Kaney. FlyQuest may have overextended a little bit here, got a little bit too hyphy, but Bwipo is not one to slow down, continuing to find the damage, and the spear, the Q, secures the kill on Kaney as FlyQuest continue to retreat, and Busio with another massive Pop Blossom, quad flies in, and Dignitas fall to pieces. A beautiful ulti from the Nico of Busio for the second time this game, and this time it's gonna seal the deal. Only Shaden's left alive. That Sejuani ain't leaving the fountain, and FlyQuest 28 minutes in, 19-6. Game 1 was easy for him.
Beautiful game from FlyQuest. I'm so mad at Bwipo right now that I have to eat my
It's going to be Sivir, which makes sense. You know, you do have a lot of strong wave clear. You clearly want to play through side lanes when you're playing this sort of comp with 3 globals. You want to be active on the map, so you definitely need that wave clear from
Right, Inspired, level 4 versus the level 3 of Shaden, as Bwipo has control over the 1v1 topside, but he is running low on mana. Shaden trying to use the E-stall impact there as Kaney versus Quad over here in the mid lane. Kaney now with a health advantage. The Kingslayer giving him so much extra HP to work with here. Quad needs one more hit. The auto attack in the air. Kaney, you had to
put him off of it, and in the meantime, FlyQuest are going to be able to take that first Drake off this pressure they've been able to create.
Does have the grand entrance to be able to help with that, but he's on the other side of the map, so he can't quite reach. Inspired's going to lead the charge forward. Now Shaden has secured the first grub, and he finds the Impale, but it's only onto Inspired. The Pantheon's going to be the focus here at the start. Fourth shot coming in. Inspired gets himself back away. Dignitas continuing the attack as Inspired is down to 300 HP, but Quad has made his way into the fight, and Isles has to try to run. Busio looking for the stun, immediately followed up with a Comet Spear, and Inspired picks up the second kill of the game for FlyQuest.
on this champion, especially. He is a Catalyst, so he's going to be going Roa Silas, which is obviously a very slow build.
Okay, Busio and Masu ready to take the 2v2, making a 3v2. Grand Starfall spells Tomo's doom back in the mid lane. Bwipo slammed up into the wall as Kaney's going to be the focus yet again. Tomo dies to the Sivir up in the top side as Kaney barely lives. Quad taken down to 100 HP, and Surdy turns and burns him. Bwipo's about to die now too as Inspired claims Isles' life up in the top side, but a double kill back over to Surdy in mid lane. A tale of 2 battles, a tale of 2 results. 2 dead on Fly, 2 dead on Dig. The bodies hit the floor across the rift.
And again, Dig actually being able to trade back these kills as Shaden's going back in up here.
Yeah, that was a little crazy, or maybe not. Surdy joins up to try to secure the kill on Masu. Busio defending his AD carry.
Nice peels coming through from Shaden to keep Kaney alive, and now Surdy gets paid.
Honestly, it was perfect timing there.
From solo queue to pro. You know, that solo queue, you walk up, you die, and then you ping your jungler.
Exactly.
In pro, that doesn't work because then the jungler, you're going to actually have to look at the guy after the game. He's going to say, what the hell, man?
And the big thing coming out of that is that Dig actually were able to get the Herald on spawn as Busio's caught.
Yeah, Busio popping the Unbreakable Will for some extra survivability, but he's very squishy still. Equalizer comes down. Busio staying alive as Kaney tries to make
though, very low chance they can actually keep this alive. In fact, there's no chance they can keep this alive.
No,
they're not keeping
not a
it alive.
shot. And it's first turret of the game. They already quickly, but Busio also moving around here to try to find the Dignitas escapee. And now the support and jungle duo of FlyQuest going after Surdy. Quad's ready to join up, and that's a killing spree for Inspired. Surdy, he ends up spending his flash just to waste a little bit of FlyQuest time.
And that should also stop this Rift Herald push, right? So it's going to give Cryo back to FlyQuest so they can potentially go in on this Drake as
Gold lead has now been reduced to less than the value of a cannon minion. In the meantime, Whippo took the tier 1 turret up in the top lane, and we now have Soul Point 18.
Yeah, and they're going to get this mid tier 1 as well. And I think that is, again, the super dangerous thing about will be down, though, for this Drake setup, but they still have first rotation on it.
Okay, Quad going for a seismic shove there. No setup means no hit. As Masu now being protected from the Jhin ulti there by the Alistar. Whippo and Inspired off to the side. Dignitas already tried to make their move and they didn't find anything. Shaden using Eastral's impact to escape through the wall. FlyQuest end up getting the better of the trade despite the fact that it's Dignitas trying to make it happen. Shaden takes a little bit of damage. Whippo with a nice taunt onto Kaney. Boomerang blade over the top. Kaney has stolen away the Alistar ultimate, so FlyQuest know they can't fully commit to trying to kill off the Sylas. Dignitas still looking for an entry point here into the bot side river as the Drake has been started by Inspired and FlyQuest. This is Infernal Soul if they claim it. That's why Dignitas are so adamant about fighting for this. Busio at half HP already using the Unbreakable Will. Dignitas want to try to let that fade away. Kaney now using his own stolen Alistar ultimate as Whippo zones him off. The Drake itself down to 4,000 HP. FlyQuest moving back into contestant, allowing it to reset here just a little bit as Whippo and Kaney keep scrapping off to the side. The Infernal Drake going to be claimed by Inspired, and Dignitas is about to have a real bad time. Shaden is already down. They try to use Isles to tackle Inspired into the wall, but it ain't gonna matter. The Grand Entrance already there to protect him. The Dignitas jungler still the only casualty. The Infernal Soul is the prize. Surdy is running towards the wrong base again, and FlyQuest are gonna kick him straight out of their jungle as Masu picks up another kill.
You can see Shaden knows it. Their chances are cooked after that one. But we're back to live and we're back to scrapping again.
Yeah, we got another fight as immediately Isles finds the Keeper's Verdict. Quad in the target, but hey, as soon as he flashes, they can't do anything else onto him. Equalizer hits Masu a little bit, but not a ton of value out of that one. Masu takes a bit more damage, but now Surdy in danger, having a flash away from the taunt of the Galio. Busio and Masu making a little bit more space. Unbreakable Will from Busio, but he's already very low. Curtain Call looking to snipe Masu down, but he gets out of the range in time. Inspired about to take a couple more bullets. Got to be careful about that one. Blocks up the last one with the shield as Whippo then tries to escape, but a nice pull from Shaden finds Quad. They get the enemy mid laner. Dignitas get a pick, and they really needed one. Whippo goes back in, trying to make some kind of a revenge play, but instead gives a second kill over to Dignitas.
An angle, they will try to go in.
And they got 1.5 or 2,000 of that gold lead back, but now FlyQuest wants to return the favor. They immediately 4v1 Surdy. This Otacon is theirs, free and clear.
The question is, do they just start Baron after as well? I feel like they can. You just push Kaney back to base. Surdy is still dead. You know the Equalizer's on cooldown even when he reses. They're pushing mid lane, but the Baron's going to be gone in a hurry.
Yeah. And it seems like Dig have accepted it, right? They already TP Kaney in to try to push in that bot tier 1. They themselves are pushing in up on mid. So Otacon and Baron over to FlyQuest, and they'll try to get this bot tier 1 off of it. He should be able to get on the next push.
Yeah, Kaney needs a little bit more minion time here on the turret. Looks like nobody from FlyQuest will try to arrive and save the thing. So Kaney can at least get that, get a little bit more objective bounty money back towards Dig. So the gold lead is actually just about where it was before the initial pick onto Surdy, leading into the 2 objectives, because Dignitas managed to take the 2 turrets in trade for the death, plus Otacon, plus Baron. But the problem is, FlyQuest now have permanent Otacon power. They have the Baron for the next 3 minutes.
Territory. No,
that's,
you get credit for it.
I don't want it.
Too bad.
Freak can have it. That's
Dig
his
in
world.
right now.
No, man, that's his world.
Well, FlyQuest are actually digging in because they're going to get the push on this bot side off of the Baron minion. But again, they're just making it so difficult, right? You could see even in that Otacon setup, it's so dark. We have this kind of spread of FlyQuest members that make it really dangerous for Dig to even walk up. As they have the push and the pressure from the Baron minions, they'll be able to get this in with the Taliyah wall as well.
Yeah, the classic Talia wall to go for the tier 3 turret push. Inspired shield blocks a lot of damage, but he still has to flash away from the incoming Dignitas threat. So Dig will hold the tier 3 for now. It took a lot of damage, but it's still not dead. Keep your eyes on Bwipo, though. Inspired thinking about taking a recall, but now staying with the rest of the team. Still has 40% HP.
All right, here with Inspired after a dominating 2-0 over Dignitas and 3-0 in the group. How does it feel? How's the team progressing?
Feels good. I think the games maybe looked kind of like one-sided, but I think in game we were not like that. It wasn't that easy. I think we still had to make a lot of decisions that we are not sure about, and it was not as clean as it looked like from the outside. But yeah, I'm happy with the win.
Yeah, looked pretty clean. 27 minutes, 31-minute win. I also